Yeah, so today we're going to talk about what, Tish?
We're talking about.
Can I say it?
Yeah, yeah.
The lows.
Oh yeah, the lows.
The lows, when you're kind of like at this point in life. Because I believe, we're all human. A lot of people, even myself sometimes, not anymore. I understand it now, but before I didn't really understand. You have this perception of life, or from the outside looking in, you may see someone else's life, and it may seem like it's just going like that, and that's not reality. That's not how life works.
It doesn't stay going like that. But
Right.
you may think you're not getting your break, I
Right.
guess. Huh. And you're trying and doing stuff, and then.
Or it may seem like, you may have some friends that's doing this and that, and they seem very successful, and it may seem like they have it all, and you may feel like you're being left behind, You may feel like you're not progressing with your peers.
And this is for people who are, like, working, not people sitting around, like,
Yeah.
feeling like, oh, people are leaving behind, but you're not putting in any work.
Yeah, if you're not doing anything.
Yeah,
I'm glad
obviously.
that you said that, because
Yeah.
I never really speak on that, because we're always working towards something. So
Because then
if
there's
you're
people,
not,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
talking,
that's true. I'm so glad you
they're
said
like,
that.
doing this and that, and you're not
Yeah, if
planning
you're
out
just
your future, nothing.
sitting down playing Xbox
Mm-hmm.
and not doing anything, yeah, life is going to pass you by.
Quarantine created a lot of bad habits for people.
So yeah, no, but for real, if you're not doing anything and you're just, living on Section 8 and smoking weed every day and
I mean, it's okay to live on Section 8 and, like, work on your dreams while you're
Yeah,
there.
yeah, but if that's like if you're just
Like,
staying
if
there
you're
and that's
comfortable
it,
and
and
you
you're
don't plan on
not
getting out of there,
doing anything, like yeah, those programs are made to get you to that next level, but some people let it cripple them. So we're not talking about those people.
What we're saying is, if you feel like you've been working hard, you just can't get a break after years of, like, putting in work and just falling short every couple months or years or whatever. I feel like that's happened to us.
Right.
I mean, it happens to everybody.
Most definitely.
And you just see other people getting their breaks, and it's just not your time yet.
Right.
Well,
It's
you
not
feel like
your
it
season.
should be, like it's unfair. It's really just not your time.
Yeah, everybody. There's a season for everything. There's a time for everything.
Because really, you don't know what people have been through. Like, everybody is at their different stage in the game.
Right.
Because life's a game, and
That's true.
you're not going to move to that next level in the game until you've mastered the level you're on, really. And it took, like, even myself, when I think about myself, like, it took me a while. I mean, I'm only 24, but
Right.
it took me a few years to, like, I had to hit rock bottom to
Right.
realize what I would have never realized if I hadn't hit it.
Right. And rock bottom is important. And we were speaking about that earlier, and I feel my rock bottom was between a couple months before my 15th birthday. My father went to prison, went to federal prison. He got sentenced 188 months, which is like a little more than 15 and a half years. And my mother just wasn't around. Just wasn't around. So it was just me, I'd say, from, and I had those family members that did try to step in and help out, but it's just different when you're growing up with no parents. So I feel like that was my rock bottom. So from 15 to 19, I feel like 19, I got an opportunity with a logistics company, with a very large logistics company. And it was I was in a place where a lot of people didn't see opportunity in that place. It just seemed like a dead-end job. But I saw some opportunity, and I grabbed that opportunity by the horns, and I rode it as
By the horns.
you heard me, because it was a devil system. But that's why I didn't name the logistics company, because it wasn't all good. But
devils.
it did lead to some great things, and
But it's just
I met some great people, and I took advantage of that opportunity.
That happened because you were in a point of your life where you were so hungry, you just
Right.
you saw the opportunity in in that job, because not a lot
Right.
of people were given the opportunity to work that job, but not many people saw the potential
Right.
in what it could bloom
I
to.
knew what it can do for me. Like I said, some people see that perception of life like this, but for the last from 15 to 19, I was going like this. I was homeless for like a year. I had nowhere to live. I had no bills. I didn't have a car. I barely had a phone. So I saw that job as okay. I was making like $1,000 every 2 weeks when I wasn't making overtime. I was making like $1,000 every 2 weeks when I wasn't making overtime. So, after the overtime, it was more money. But anyways, I didn't have any bills, so I saw that as an opportunity, being that I didn't have rent or, a car note or anything else. I knew that everything that I would make, I can save and get ahead. And I also realized that I can become an area manager with this company in the next 2 years. That was the minimum qualifications if you didn't have a bachelor's degree. And like I said, very large logistics company. They're global. So the opportunity was limitless. And like she said, I saw that opportunity in that job. But from 15 to 19, my life was like this. I mean, I'm talking drugs, bad habits, gambling habits before I was even of age to gamble. Just downward, man. I'm telling you. I can
with
go
that
deeper,
situation, it's like somebody with like a not as hard life as you, who is in that position at that time.
Right.
They're not going to jump on that.
That's not an
because
opportunity for them.
It's not their season. Like, timing is so important.
Right.
Like, if you weren't going through what you were going through, you wouldn't have went as hard as you did.
Right. Because if I was doing that now, I'd be like,
Yeah, because now you're like,
fuck out of here. Seriously, I'd be like,
Same for me.
that.
Like, I hit rock bottom. I was probably 20 turning 21. And I learned so many lessons there, but I had nothing. So when I got back to work, I was like so hungry, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's like an intimidating hungry. Like she
an
would work so
intimidating
hard.
hungry.
I'd be like, damn, I'm not doing enough. Like, this is
But I think you gotta
crazy.
be there. You gotta
right.
get to that point to feel like you don't have anything to lose. Because at that point, you don't have anything to lose. And I think that's why those people work so hard.
Right.
Like in the hood and stuff. Like when people are really from where they have nothing, they want to get out of the game.
Right.
And they do what they have to do that. They don't do that for fun.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's like.
Like for me, I wasn't doing all that, but my job, I was working in different cities like every weekend. I was taking the Greyhound. I was taking the Megabus. Like
I would
nobody
drive her
knows
a lot
that.
of times too.
He would drive me at first, and
So.
then I started going places all over, and I had to be resourceful,
Right.
and that wasn't something that I was proud of, obviously. Like,
Right.
but I did what I had to do to get myself out of there because
It was
I knew I never wanted to be there again.
Right.
And the amount of work I put in. Oh, I can't even, when I think back about it, I'm like, what was I thinking?
Right.
Like, but I had nothing to lose, and I knew that I had everything to gain.
True.
And really, what it was my building season, and we're still in it because it's
True.
not like we've gotten our break yet.
Right. No, we have not.
And then
We
like the
have major blessings on the way.
coronavirus, like totally
Yeah.
just put everyone, I feel like, at a plateau, or most people. So
I'm in the middle of making a pretty big purchase to start a business, and it's
a surprise.
I'm not gonna say what it is.
Oh.
I was just saying the coronavirus thing is. It has me really second guessing if I should make this purchase right now because I don't know how stable work is gonna be and incomes are gonna be. So, but yeah, coronavirus.
But
there
you
you
kind of
go.
question yourself, like, once you're there, it's like survival. You can't just like sink or swim.
I'll make it work. It's just But
we all have to go through eventually, and I mean, not everyone does even hit rock bottom, but that rock bottom does teach you things that nothing else could.
Right.
And
I have a book about
from
that.
there, the only way you can go is up. right? Unless you're gonna stay down there. So when you come up, that's like building, and now we're like building on our own and together, like
right.
But
I'm telling you, we got some things in store.
We haven't had our break yet, and it's like
I'm telling you,
right now is our plateau. Like when you're working out and you just going up, and then you plateau.
This is a good read.
What is it?
The Power of Broke. The Power of Broke. Damon John. He's the founder of FUBU. For Us, By Us. The Power of Broke.
He's one of the investors
Check it out.
on Shark Tank.
Yep, he definitely is. The Power of Broke. There's a powerful thing that you go through when you hit rock bottom. Hey, look, trust me. I mean, like a lot of people now, I've had people comment and tell me things like pretty much like they obviously they don't know me. And they feel like I grew up with a silver spoon just because they see where I'm at now. And not that, like, I'm not a millionaire, I'm not rich, I'm not anything, but we're doing pretty good for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, very good for ourselves.
Compared to, like, the average person our age.
Yeah, and where we're headed is yeah. So they think I have a silver spoon, which is not true. I just told you I grew up without my parents. That was very, very hard. I'll go in detail on that maybe in another episode. But yeah, so again, about... Like I said, I wanted to name this episode The Lows, you know? You got to understand, like she says, like everybody has their season. You know what I mean? Like when one of your peers' season, they may be in this point of their season where they're doing this, and you may be in your point of your season where you're doing this. At some point, it's going to go opposite. They're going to be like this or going down or they're stuck. And then you're going to be coming up. Everybody has their time. You can't base your life off of someone else's life.
And really, you shouldn't even be comparing or worrying about where they are.
Exactly.
Where their slope is, if they're plateauing, if they're doing what. You shouldn't be worried about what they're doing. But the point is that
I know how that can affect your mentality.
Things always look pretty on, greener
right.
on the other side, and you don't know what's going on their side.
Right. Exactly.
You don't know what they have funded behind them. You
don't
know what they went through to finally get that break.
Right. I had a little cousin the other day. What did he say? He said he told me he told his parents that he always tried to base his life and success in his life off of what I accomplished in my life. His parents took me in after I was homeless for like about a year. His parents took me in and I lived with them. So he saw me do a lot of things that a lot of other people didn't because he lived with me. We were like a wall apart, like a wall of sheetrock separated us. So he saw me do a lot of things at a young age, accomplish a lot of things at a young age, right in front of him, right in front of his eyes. And because like I'll just say it, before I left their house, I had saved 20 grand by the time I left their house. I was over there for maybe a year and a half, and I saved 20 grand. I was 20 years old. So he saw me do a lot of things. And like I told him, I said, bro, you can't base your life off of mine. Because let me give you an example. I said, when I was living with you, I had to pay my car note, which was high because it was my first car. It was a brand new car, horrible purchase. My insurance, which was high because I was young and I had accidents and tickets like crazy. And all my other bills that I had to pay. And at that time, all his parents were asking him to pay was his car insurance. So I said, and I tried to get him a job at the job that I was working at. Excuse me. So I said, you could have been doing the same thing as me and saving even more money at that time. But your mentality was just in a different place. And you didn't go through what I went through for the last 4 years. You know what I mean?
So you matured a lot quicker.
Right. Because I'm only like a year or two older than him.
Yeah, but you started taking care of yourself and stuff.
I was taking care of my own
myself. Had obligations before.
Right.
So his stage in life was a couple chapters, maybe like 2 chapters ahead of him.
Right.
Right. So he couldn't understand.
Right. Why I was thinking the way I was thinking at that time.
He can't see that.
Yeah. So that's a prime example, though. You know what I mean? So you just gotta do you. You know what I mean? You gotta stay in your lane.
When something is like
maintain that motherfucker.
What you need to do is you need to master the level you're at in this game.
Right.
And if something's bothering you, something keeps like coming up, you keep failing at something, that's probably something you need to work on.
Right.
and I'm horrible at this. Like, I procrastinate at things like I'm not good at or things I don't like. And those are the things you need to, like, go head on with.
Right.
And the more you do them, the easier they'll get. I mean, they're not going to get easier. You're going to get better.
You're going to get better.
You're going to get better.
Right.
And then you can keep beating that.
That's true.
Beating that task.
So the lows, man, don't get down. Don't get hard on yourself. Don't be negative. Be positive and keep this is the thing.
Remember.
Stay in your motherfucking lane.
What do they say?
Stay in your lane, bruh. Don't be worrying about another motherfucker lane.
What do they say in the Elaine's
There's 100% success rate for people that don't quit. That's with anything.
With anything.
That's the law of economics.
That's what you do. You just got to keep going, because once you stop, that person who's 5 steps behind you is eventually going to pass you.
You got to have that Mamba mentality.
Like, okay, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to people, but there's like, there is like a...
Like she said, there's a game of life. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like, you kind of got to be competitive against, like, other people.
Right.
Like,
That's what
see what's
pushes
around you. But you don't need to be looking at their grass.
Right.
But obviously, you want to not let people catch up. That's a good motivation.
Right. It's like you said. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
You sounded like something good was gonna come out.
It was, but I lost it.
What was it? Maybe I could help you think of it.
It was something about when you said the thing about the seasons, but I forgot. But anyways, yeah, you ain't gotta be in competition with no nigga. You heard me? We're probably gonna edit that out. Maybe not, because that's who I am. That's how I talk. Fuck it, you heard me? But what I was going, I'm gonna edit that out because we're trying to reach every age
Well, actually,
group.
this is for our babies.
That too. But yeah, man, you can't be worrying about somebody else, because that's always gonna knock you off of your game. Stay in your lane, you know what I mean, and that's pretty much it. It don't really get no deeper and more in detail than that. Stay in your lane. Don't be worrying about the other lane. That's how you gonna crash.
Yeah.
You heard me? You got to stay in your lane, keep pushing, go at your pace. You know what I mean? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It's like you said, life was a game. How life is a game. Like, yeah, we're not really comparing ourselves to anyone else. That's not the objective, but this is still a game, and there's ways to keep score. We keep score financially and by accomplishments and things like that. It's just like sports. Why do you think they keep track of points and first downs and, and championships? There's a reason for that, because you want to outdo the best motherfucker. You want to outdo him. You want to be the best. I know I want to be the best. I can't speak for anybody else. At the same time, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna throw what I believe, in the trash just to be the next man, beat the next man either. You know what I mean?
For instance,
I got integrity and ethics.
In sports, like some people have been practicing since they were like 5.
Right.
And then there's someone who started when they were like 9. But the person who started at 9 works twice as hard as the person who started when they were 4.
Right.
Like, that doesn't mean like you're behind them. I
right.
mean, you may be in this chapter, but you can jump 2 steps. You can get your break in. Because you worked hard on yourself, you were looking at your own grass, watering that.
I remember when I was in high school, I remember everybody's parents were buying them cars, setting them up for college, like they got out. Their parents had already had careers and things like that, so they helped them get like good jobs and things like that. And what did I have? I didn't have anybody helping me or pushing me, and I felt behind. Like, I always felt behind in my life, but I was always hustling too, but it was never, I don't really know how to put it, but I always felt behind. But when I did get that opportunity that I got, or when I saw the opportunity in that dead-end job, I knew, like, I was like, well, I've been behind all this time. Now it's time to catch up. This is my time to catch up. And what did I do? I went hard. And I didn't stop.
That's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Right now, like, in school.
Yeah, so it's like that guy that went that started training at 4 or 5, and the guy that started at 9, and you're gonna catch up if you're gonna put it, like, you gotta go hard. You gotta go hard. That's all I can say about that one. I promise you, whatever you doing in life, if you go hard at it nonstop, don't stop, keep grinding, like, and dedicate yourself and devote yourself to it.
It's not really going to be a break you're going to get. It's going to be your, like,
it's going to be what you deserve.
It's your time. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's going to look like a break.
It's going to look like a break. It
always looks like a break when someone comes, hits that.
And that's another reason why we're doing this. Another reason why we're doing this is because, like we said, right now we feel like we just got out of this, and then now we're setting that foundation and everything for ourselves to do this. So when we get this, and when we get there, it ain't gonna be, oh, they got lucky or this and that. Like, no, we come from fucking sharing one car. Like, we come from fucking, man, I can't even really go into all detail because we're like really personal people. Maybe one day when we get more comfortable with our community and things like that, I'm more than sure we will. And when we get to where we're going, I really won't have a problem then.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm telling you, from the fucking bottom. You heard me?
We were kids when we met.
Right.
We still are kids. Big kids.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's good.
But that's another thing, you know what I mean? Nobody gonna be able to say, oh, they got lucky. Like, nah, fuck out of my face. We know what grinding and sacrifice and everything.
And we're not really talking about how to be successful, because we haven't got there yet, but we have gotten ourselves far in the past couple of years. Like, we've elevated ourselves in ways that
I'm gonna just say this.
Really, you have to discipline yourself to get yourself out of.
I'm gonna say this. At 20 years old, I hit, about 19, 20 years old, I hit 5 figures, right? It never went below that. Is that right? Yeah. Over 10,000. 10,000 is 5 figures. Yeah. About 19, 20. 19, I hit 10,000. 20, I hit 20,000. So I've never been under 5 figures since I was 19. I went over 5 figures and never went under. And then I met Tish, and no, I still never went. I wasn't going to say anything negative.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that I lost. See, I don't really know.
No, I wasn't going to say that at all. No, I was going to say then I met Tish, and she wasn't quite there yet. I don't think you were at 5 figures when I met you. No, she wasn't. And then we kind of bounce some ideas and things off of each other and our lifestyles off of each other, and then she got over 5 figures, and now we're both over 5 figures. Maybe we're at 6 figures. You'll never know because we won't tell you. But I'm just saying,
I don't feel comfortable even talking about numbers.
No, I'm saying that though because we're talking about like we're not successful, but
yeah, we're not. But we're building. We're in the building stage, I mean? And I'm just saying we have worked so hard to get to just where we are now. And it's just like the beginning.
Yeah, because I'm 25 and she's 24. So, future millionaires. That's all I want to say. But we don't base life and everything on money.
It's on freedom. We want freedom.
Right.
What money gives you freedom to do anything.
Yeah, so don't get it confused. Keep watching the episodes and you'll see where we are mentally and how we view money and
our perspective.
Things like that.
Remember, these are just perspectives too.
Right.
This is just how we feel about things.
Right. So that's what it is. I think we should keep these episodes at about 25 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we're going to put a couple ads on there, and y'all better watch them ads because that's how we're going to try to make a little dough for right now because we're not monetized. But peace out, YouTube family. We love y'all. You heard me. Don't forget to subscribe. Get at us.